All right, so today we're going to talk about a city that, well, it quietly helped shape the entire modern world. I'm talking everything from kicking off the Industrial Revolution to literally creating European football as we know it. We're talking about Wolverhampton, and believe me, its story is one of Britain's best-kept secrets.
And that really is the central question, isn't it? How did one city manage to help invent the modern world and pretty much nobody noticed? You see, Wolverhampton's got this quiet, kind of unassuming vibe. But underneath all that, wow, there's this history of profound and honestly really surprising global influence.
Okay, so let's get right into it. If you really want to understand Wolverhampton, you first have to get your head around the sheer number of world-changing ideas that were born right here.
I mean, just look at the range on this timeline. It's incredible. We're talking way back in 1712, one of the first ever commercial steam engines fires up near the city, literally kickstarting the Industrial Revolution. Then, about a century later, a local inventor comes up with corrugated iron. You know, that humble material that ended up building sheds, homes, even churches all across the globe. Then you fast forward to 1927, and boom, the UK's very first automatic traffic lights get switched on right there in Princess Square. And get this, in the 1950s, it was those amazing floodlit football matches at the Wolves Stadium that directly inspired the creation of the European Cup, which of course is now the Champions League. It's just a constant stream of innovation.
And it wasn't just about practical stuff either. The very same year they installed those traffic lights, a Wolverhampton company called Sunbeam built this car, the Slug. What a name, right? Well, this machine became the first automobile in history to absolutely smash the 200-mile-per-hour barrier. I mean, that is just a monumental feat of engineering for 1927.
You know, the city's manufacturing power was so dominant in some areas that it even got its own nicknames. For example, it became known as Lock City. Why? Because by the mid-1800s, it was producing something like 90% of all the locks in the entire country. That included the revolutionary Chubb lock, the one that was famously unpickable. Pretty much the whole country was being locked up with keys made right here. But there's a whole other side of this place. Once you peel back that layer of industrial grit, you find this hidden world of ghost stories, strange legends, and some really unsettling mysteries that have been passed down for centuries. And we're not talking about vague spooky tales. These stories are incredibly specific. Let's take Graiseley Old Hall, this building that dates all the way back to the 1300s. It got this incredibly creepy nickname, the House That Cries. The story goes that families living there would find these unexplained pools of water just appearing in the main hall. It was like the house itself was weeping. How unsettling is that?
Then you've got the local folklore around the so-called witch's grave in a place called Bushbury. The legend is, well, it's pretty grim. They say that if you can fit your hand or your foot into these strange carvings on the gravestone, it's a sign, a prophecy that you're fated to die soon. It's one of those bits of local lore that's just genuinely chilling.
And here's the thing, these aren't just one-off stories. The whole city seems to be teeming with paranormal reports. You've got phantom footsteps at the Gifford Arms pub, the ghost of a former manager said to haunt the Grand Theater, and there have even been sightings of the legendary Victorian phantom himself, Spring-Heeled Jack. It's like the whole place is a hotspot for spooky stuff.
Okay, and this is where we start to see one of the most fascinating things about Wolverhampton. It's a city of these huge, stark, and actually kind of beautiful contradictions. I mean, think about it. How can a city that's famous for the soot and fire of the Black Country, a place that had infamous slums like Caribbean Island, also be a celebrated hub for high art? It just doesn't seem to fit, right? But it is. It's home to Whitewick Manor, which is this perfect shrine to the arts and crafts movement. And its art gallery? It's got one of the UK's best collections of pop art, with works by Andy Warhol. It's a real head-scratcher.
And this didn't just happen by accident. The story behind Whitewick Manor is absolutely incredible. The owner was a local industrialist, right? And he went to a lecture in Wolverhampton given by, get this, Oscar Wilde himself. He was so inspired by what he heard that he decided right then and there to create his own house beautiful. How cool is that?
And that artistic spirit, well, it runs deep into the music scene too. This is the city that gave us the glam rock pioneers Slade. It gave us one of Britain's all-time great soul singers, Beverly Knight. And it gave us a global pop superstar in Liam Payne from One Direction. We're talking glam rock, soul, and pop. Three completely different worlds, all from the exact same city.
So when you boil it all down, what's at the heart of all this? The innovations, the myths, the contradictions, they're all rooted in these incredibly compelling human stories.
They're about the people of Wolverhampton, or as they're properly known, Wolfrunians.
The city's whole identity is this amazing tapestry woven from these remarkable lives. I mean, it starts with its founder, an Anglo-Saxon noblewoman named Lady Wolfran. Then you got sporting heroes like Billy Wright, the very first footballer in the world to get 100 caps for his country. You've got trailblazing reformers like Red Emma Sprossen, the city's first ever female counselor. And of course you have cultural icons like Noddy Holder, that unmistakable voice of Slade. Just an amazing cast of characters.
But maybe the most shocking and definitely the most tragic story connected to the city is this one. Catherine Eddowes, who was the fourth victim of Jack the Ripper, was born in Wolverhampton. She eventually left for London, only to meet that horrific end in 1888, forever linking this city in the Midlands to one of the most infamous and grisly murder mysteries in all of history.
And the list of influential people with roots here just keeps going, and it's so diverse it's almost hard to believe. You've got a governor of the Bank of England, Mervyn King. You've got the brilliant author Caitlin Moran, the very controversial MP Enoch Powell, whose speeches really did shape national debate, and the acclaimed writer and comedian Mary Seal. All from here.
So when you take all of this, the innovation, the ghosts, the art, the people, and you put it all together, what does it add up to? What is the core identity of this city? What's the big takeaway?
Well, what it paints is a picture of a place with this wildly disproportionate influence on the world. It's a city of hidden layers, On one level, it's an industrial powerhouse. On another, it's a tech pioneer. Then it's this unlikely hub for avant-garde art, a catalyst for modern sport, and a place steeped in haunted history. All of it just waiting there to be discovered.
This whole incredible story of grit and brilliance, of industry and art, it's captured perfectly in the city's own motto, "Out of darkness cometh light." It just says it all, doesn't it?
So, Wolverhampton's journey, from all those quiet firsts to the modern multicultural hub it is today, it really challenges us, doesn't it? It pushes us to look beyond the surface of the places all around us. And it kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What other hidden histories, what other profound stories are just waiting to be discovered in the places we think we know so well?